That's an easy question, right? Hi everyone, here's the Bookchemist once again. Recently I filmed a review of Philip Roth's The Great American Novel, a novel I adored. It's so amazing, so thrilling and rewarding and captivating and also hilarious, and a novel that plays a lot with that idea of the Great American Novel. This idea that, certain novels, but who knows which ones, in a way represent all of American society and represent all the complexities of such a nation and such a world, and tell you about what it is to be an American, what the American dream and American reality is all about. Does the Great American Novel exist? Are there instances of it in literature? Is it a single one? Are there many of them? Let me know what you think about it in the comments. This video was just an excuse to ask your opinion. My opinion is indeed limited because the Great American Novel, by definition, is usually searched for in the classics of American literature, and I don't know too much about the classics of American literature, even though if someone asks you, I do. But between the two of us, no, I don't know shit about those books. Among contemporary literature, which is more my kind of stuff, I'd say that there are a few, I would point at a few instances of the Great American Novel, because I like to talk about such stuff, even admitting that it's kind of a, it's a ridiculous topic. I talk about it a little bit in the review. It's a kind of a ridiculous topic to think that a single novel can represent such a complex reality as the American one, but it might be, it's fun to talk about it. If you asked me if I had to pick one novel to be the Great American Novel, I would probably pick Underworld by DeLillo. It seems to me like that is indeed a novel that sets out to be a novel about America and about the many different realities of America. It's about, humble people in Brooklyn in the 1950s. It's about the world of experimental and avant-garde art. It's about politicians, it's about J. Edgar Hoover. It features so many crucial people and crucial, VIPs in the American culture of the second half of the 20th century, but at the same time it focuses on the life of everyday fictional characters, and it's quintessentially about baseball. It's about finding a famous baseball, as it travels around the country and around the world. What more American than that? Infinite Jest is another novel lots of people point at as an instance of the Great American Novel. I do believe there's some truth to that claim, and I think it's a sensed claim completely. Wallace himself said when that he wanted clearly to write an American novel when he decided to write Infinite Jest, and so much of the reflection in the novel about American politics, about the obsession of American culture with entertainment and with easy pleasure, so much of that has to do quintessentially with American society. I could make the case that some of the themes Infinite Jest talks about most widely, for instance, its obsession with themes of solipsism and isolation, and with the dangerous effects of the way winning is such an important feature of our society, and success is such an important feature of today's cultural life. I could make a case that those themes are more universal rather than American, and that, by the way, would be a good thing rather than a bad thing for the novel. But what do you think? I really don't have a strong opinion on that. It's been too many years since I read Infinite Jest. Moving on to Pynchon, I'm not sure I would say any of his novels is necessarily the Great American Novel. I don't think, Gravity's Rainbow has that kind of scope, or sets out to talk about that kind of, to talk about America in such a comprehensive way. It's very much a novel about the industrial military complex and about the noxious effects of control, but unless you have a very bleak view of America, that's not all there is to the nation. Also, maybe I'm just being influenced a bit too much by the novel setting, but most of it's set in Europe, so there's that. Against the Day is another novel that's set largely outside America, but much more than Gravity's Rainbow, I think, could claim to be the Great American Novel, because it deals extensively with the idea, common in Pynchon, that America is all about exploitation and control. It's about exploiting the poor so that the rich can get richer. But at the same time, it also focuses on the potential for communal belonging and the potential for unity and justice and peace that's there in America, and that's explored through, you know, the mission of the inconvenience. It's explored through the work of the anarchists and the unionists in the novel, who try to achieve a better society for themselves and for, you know, the poor at large. In this sense, this struggle between the potential of the country, the great, you know, the great potential of what is generally called the American dream, maybe it's become a bit too cheesy as an expression, but that great potential and its contrast with the way the nation itself and its history is so full of exploitation and mass and violence and massacres and just plain injustice, that same kind of tension is also, of course, at the heart of Mason and Dixon, which once again is a novel that for almost half of its length is not even set in America. But yeah, probably if asked, I would say that Mason and Dixon is the one among Pynchon's novels that closest to the idea of a great American novel, in that it talks about, you know, the basic nature of America, and it talks about its early years and asks the question of what America is all about, basically. These are just a few random ideas. I could make the case that Michael Chabon's Amazing Adventures of Kavalier and Clay, one of my favorite novels, is a great American novel because it talks extensively, it intertwines extensively its topic of escapism and of the value of escape in opposition, you know, to the horrors of history and of reality, and it intertwines the idea of escape with the idea of America as a country. America is seen as you know, the land of liberty with the Statue of Liberation, and a place where you can escape the horrors of the world, except that no, of course it complicates that easy reading of the nation, but no, I don't think Amazing Adventures has that type of scope or shows a broad enough array of humanity to claim that kind of title. But what do you think? What do you think are the novels you'd consider, you know, great American novels? Is the concept silly and stupid and something Americans are obsessed with because they're a bit quirky? Or do are you able to point at a few novels and say, yeah, those ones are great American novels? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching once again, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.